All right, what's up, guys? I thought I would take today to kind of show you everything that I keep in my truck and give you a little tour. So, lots of stuff in here. I like to keep my truck very clean and organized. I don't mind taking it out and getting dirty or climbing in with muddy boots, but I like that I can come back and clean it and everything's prim and proper. So, it's kind of a contradiction there, isn't it? Anyway, to start off, the most basic and obvious thing is I keep USB-C, I should say, cable in here for my phone. My phone will automatically connect via Bluetooth for like Android Auto and stuff, but obviously for charging, and then sometimes Android Auto just doesn't work. So there's that. So that's number one. Number two is up here, I actually keep, I just dropped them out. This is actually an extra pair of just regular glasses. So these are my old glasses. So sunglasses, most people keep them up here. I personally, like if I'm using sunglasses, they're on my head or they're hanging off the collar of my shirt. So, but I do wear contacts and I'm quite blind without them. So if I ever lost a contact out on the road and didn't have a spare, I'd be screwed. So I just always keep some spare glasses up there. They're just my old pair. It's fine if this prescription is a little like weaker than what you're used to. They actually, my eyes haven't changed in like 5-10 years, so they fit just fine, or they work just fine. All right, in the center console, got a lot of little goodies in here. So always keep Tums on hand, gum on hand, a lock for the locker if I go to the gym, keep some hand sanitizer, some chapstick, and then pen and pencil and eraser. Underneath I always have a notebook, and then I also have my emergency food rations. So I've got 6 bottles of water, a 6-pack I should say, and then 4 of these adventure meals. So these are for backpackers, you know, but they really work in case you're out there. And then actually stuck in here, I keep a multi-tool food tool. So spoon, can opener, fork, etc. So that's pretty nice to have on hand in case I need it. And then last in here, if I can bury it out, I've got a little too buried right now, is my glass breaker if there's an accident. So I don't want this thing flopping all over the place if there is an accident, but it should have been a little bit more towards the top so it's more easily accessible in case a situation arises where I need it. But that is everything I keep in here. I guess the one thing I didn't have in here I didn't mention is pepper spray. So I keep that on hand all the time as well, or my wife can have it, whatever. That's the center console. In the door, the driver door, I keep some driving gloves, or some gloves. I really like these gloves. They are, let's see if the brand's on them. Got them off Amazon. Here we go. So there you go. That's the brand. I like these gloves a lot. They're fairly warm, but the grip is great. And honestly, the fingertips, I can operate my phone or my truck screen really, really easily. So I always like to have gloves. If I get in the truck, don't have any, and it's cold out, I can just easily slip these on. I also I've got an emergency poncho and an umbrella. So that's everything in my driver door. And then if I look in the back door on the passenger, the driver's side, back passenger, I've got an emergency roll of toilet paper. It's getting a little shredded, but got some toilet paper on hand. Here I've got my medical bag. You can watch my video on that to see what all's in there. Underneath here, this is my air pump for my tires. You can see my window scraper. And then on this side, first of all, in this bag, I keep an extra quart of oil on hand. So that's a full quart. I've got some duct tape, I've got a funnel, and I've got a rag in case I ever need to work on the underneath the truck. Speaking of, right under here, there's my tool roll tucked in. And then obviously my emergency kit is right here as well. And then actually, I don't really want to pull this all out, but whatever. If I pull the emergency kit out, underneath here, if you can see it, there are my chains. So they're tucked up behind the seat. I will put that back after I make this video. All right. In the back of the truck, at least right now, this is the big thing that needs the most work. This is kind of just the most basic stuff. I've got a backpack with it's kind of like a go bag. It's got rain gear, some food, blah, blah, blah. I've got a 0-degree sleeping bag, as well as my mattress, and blanket sheets. I've got a wool blanket, so wool blanket always on hand. Underneath the wool blanket, there's a fire extinguisher. And then actually underneath that blanket up there is a USB powered lantern. Well, it's a battery, but it charges USB, as well as my Jackery battery. And then finally is a CO2 detector. So I keep all those in the back of the truck at all times. Oh, almost forgot. So this is kind of interesting. First of all, this mat is just for my boots, my muddy boots if I climb in the back. And then these clamps. So what I figured I can do is I can use these clamps on the cross beam. So if I'm in the truck, there's no way to lock it. But if I put, really I just need one, but if I put two on and clamp them, you cannot open it. So that's everything in the back. All right, on this side, first of all, keep this trash bag with me at all times. If it's just me, I'll wing it around on the front of the passenger side. But if my wife's with me, it's just always handy to have a place to put my trash. As you can tell, my dog spends most of her time here. So under the seat, we've got my jumper cables, and then this bed for my dog just kind of lives in here. I've actually got some anti-slip mat underneath it just to keep her from sliding around. Got a seat belt just to secure her. Always keep some Clorox bleach wipes, some paper towels, some extra bags, and then in the door, I keep a line so I can tether my dog, portable water bowl, bag of a few treats, and then finally an extra extra roll of poop bags. So that's everything I keep on that side. And then in the front passenger side, in the door, exactly the same as the driver's side. You've got an umbrella, you've got an emergency poncho. Tucked on the side of the seat is a 50 state atlas. I love this thing. Everyone should always keep maps with you at all times. I mean, heck, even a couple months ago, I was driving through Kentucky, up in the mountains, mountain highway, and I missed an exit at some point. I'll admit, I was kind of zoning out. I was kind of getting tired, but I missed an exit. And this was not like a exit you see on an interstate. Like, it was tucked away, it's hidden. It was probably a mile or two before I realized, and I had lost signal. So I had no hope of finding on my own. I ended up having to pull over, pull this thing out, look up, figure out where I was, and then figure out where I needed to go, and was able to get back on track. So always make sure you have an atlas. This is extra thick because it also has like steep parks and stuff. But that's really great. All right, and then the front consoles. First of all, on this new console that Ford recently added, I just keep another fire extinguisher, so that's always with me. And then the glove box, we've got, this is the kit to charge my Jackery battery that's in the back. So the different cables and stuff to charge it. I keep a headlamp with me at all times. I keep a USB-C 9-volt charger, so I can just plug this into the cigarette lighter. It's not really called that anymore, but that's for the headlamp, it's for the lantern, etc. This is a list of commands for my dash cam. So if I want turn off screen, oh, I wasn't really looking at it. Turn on screen. Turn on screen. There it goes. So that dash cam, there are different voice commands, and sometimes I forget them, so I just have them written down. Some hardware. I do keep some batteries in the front. Basic paperwork. When I say I keep batteries, I have both AA and AAAs, so that's what those are. I do keep some fuses on hand, and then that's just some extra hardware that came with the truck. So that's all the registration. Put that back in. The only other thing I will mention that I'm not showing where I keep it is cash. I do recommend that you guys keep some cash on hand. I have about 100, I think it's $100 exactly. It is, it's $100 exactly in some 5s, 10s, and 20s. And I have that hidden somewhere in my truck. So I'm not going to show you guys where that is, but it's not the most accessible place, and really only I know where it is, so I think it's pretty safe. But if I'm ever in a situation where I'm out, it's nice to know that I always have cash. I think that is everything. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. There's certain things that you should just always have on hand in your vehicle. I don't consider myself to be overly prepared or hyper, prepared person, but it's really just common sense to have a lot of these things on hand. So hopefully this was helpful for you all, and I will talk to you next time.